Go.
Do you know where trash goes? Are you aware of what happens when you throw a little piece of paper here? Do you double think that trash you just threw on the sidewalk, on the highway? Take a deep breath. Can you? You haven't caught on. I'm trying to explain about recycling. I'm trying to promote recycling and how it can save you money and create jobs, and how it can help the planet. Now, how does a payday come when you're recycling? When you grab paper, you put it in a bin, or you turn off the faucet a little sooner. Well, recyclingfacts.com says that it takes 90% less effort, less resources to extract aluminum out of its natural source than it does to get it from recycled things. Now, what does that mean? Let's think of recycled paper, plastic, bottles, everyday things that we use every day. I'm using paper right now. The recording thing we're using right now uses product, it's materials that we could have used from recycled. It brings down the cost of things that we use, and that makes things more affordable for everybody. It makes them more attainable for the general population that should be everybody. So if you're still not convinced, let's talk about oil. Oil is arguably one of the most valuable resources that we have on the entire planet. Everybody needs it, everybody wants it. So why has it become so expensive over the years, and why are the gas prices going up and up and up? Oil is becoming scarce. We don't have as much of it as we do. We have to travel overseas to get it. So how does that tie into recycling? Well, it comes in when lessismore.org tells us that a ton of newspaper recycled saves us 1.7 barrels of oil. What does that mean for you? Well, 1 barrel of oil gives us 47 gallons of gasoline, among other things, but gasoline is what we really use. What does that mean? To put it in perspective, 47 gallons gives my Toyota, my car, 4 full tanks. With those 4 full tanks, I can drive around for about 2.5 weeks, do what I need to do, picking up my siblings, go to the gym, to work. It gets me around, and that's what we all need right now. We need to save oil. We need to make the resources we do have more valuable. We have to treat them better, because if we just keep wasting and wasting it away, it's going to be vanished at some point in time. So, let's save Earth. Go Mother Earth, please. When I say that, what do you think of? Some stoner hippie? Some guy pitchforking around saying, oh, save the planet? Do I look like that? No. I'm a regular teenager. And I'm taking a look at what needs to be done. At recycling, we can do this, we can do that. And I'm just one person, but let's think of it this way. If the entire Earth, billions of people got a little pebble, and they throw it into the ocean, it's going to create a huge wave. Every small person creates a ripple that comes together and makes a difference. But that's just small people. What happens when the big companies start saying things and doing what we do? Well, Mercedes-Benz. What do you think of when you think of this? Elite cars, the elite, the rich, the powerful. These people are the ones that really rule the world, the big companies. Now what happens when they start taking a look? Why do we have to wait for them to start making the decisions to go green, recycle, or would they even care? Well, Mercedes-Benz released a supercar that runs on electricity. So when you think of that, you think of a tiny little car that doesn't go very fast, it doesn't do much. That's its supercar. Just because something goes green doesn't mean it becomes worse. We have to sacrifice any of the power. Mercedes-Benz released a car, and it's hungry and powerful for speed and traction under its tires, but it does not consume the amount of gasoline that it usually does. This is exactly what it looks like. I like the doors. E-cell. The car runs with battery-powered cells in the motor. Right there, you see. 56% battery. That's what I see on my iPhone, and it's in a car, a supercar. The cars of the future. When gasoline runs out, we're still going to be able to be using supercars because of inventions like this. And if big companies like this are taking part in it, why shouldn't we? Why do we have to wait for the big companies like this to start making the changes? Why haven't we started taking the initiative to grab the papers, put them in the trash, grab the bottles, put them in a bin? Why wouldn't we do that? It's starting to save us money. There's changes are happening now, and if we don't start taking action, who will? Them? No. We're taking action now, and we're going to start doing this. So, I told you to take a deep breath when I first started this. You're breathing in dirt. That's dirt. What does that mean? Well, cleanairmore.com says on February 2007, there was a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that pollution is strongly linked, especially in women, to problems with breathing and your cardiovascular system. Well, I think we've all known that, but what specifically is going on? PM-2.5. What is that? PM-2.5 is a small little particle that is in the air that we don't see. And when we breathe it in, it's basically dirt. It's little tiny matter particles that we can't really see, but we see it when our skies turn black, when we take a deep breath and it's not as fresh as it should be. So why would we want that to keep going on in our air? It's part of every single day life, and if we don't make a difference now, it's going to start getting worse. PM25, when accumulated, becomes PM10, and larger and larger and larger. And if we can't take a deep breath without thinking of it as we're breathing in dirt, then what are we doing with ourselves? Let's talk about jobs. Everyone needs jobs, and in the past 4 years, there's been a huge decrease of jobs and an increase of the unemployment rate. Now, what happens when we tie that in with recycling? It's arguable that when we create a new pipeline to get more oil in, we're creating thousands of jobs. Yes, let's do this, let's do that, more jobs. But what are we really fixing? We made more jobs to do what? Destroy more air? To just waste it away? Create more oil? To get more oil? To waste oil? It doesn't make any sense to me. TriplePlanet.com says that if we recycle, in bold letters says we can make 2.3 million jobs according to an NRDE report. How does that happen? It happens when, well, the trash man comes, he's driving his car. We also need people to pick up our recycling because that doesn't happen on the same thing. We need people who are working factories and working and finding new ways, scientists, to recycle better. So when we give the possibility and we start taking initiative to make recycling an option for all of us, and the correct option, we make jobs for the United States, for everybody that needs them. When we create more jobs, we create more possibility for everybody, and it's what we need. Because we can't keep having the unemployment rate go down. We recycle, products become less, and we create more jobs. And you put two and two together, and we're saving oil. Why wouldn't you start this now? I'm not saying let's go green with everything, let's do this, let's go use the bathroom outside. Small steps that we take can really help. I would love to see that in the next few years that we can have trash trucks that come along and they have the recycling part of the trash. We have, by law, bins that come out here, part of our everyday life, so that we can recycle. Should it be by law? It should definitely be by law to recycle. But it should also be an initiative that we take among ourselves, and the government and the mayors, everybody needs to put in a part, because we might not double think these little papers that we're using right now. It might not be that big of a deal, but if we just do a small change here and there, it could create a big difference. The majority of people don't double think it, and they won't. But hopefully after listening to this, the facts and everything, I don't want to breathe in dirt. I don't want to have more oil to have to be put in my car, prices skyrocketing. We gotta make a change, and if we don't start with the tiny little things, we can never do the big things. So I'm glad you enjoyed listening to me. I hope you enjoyed the car I did. And this is my audience this time around. My brother, he didn't want to do it, but kind of forced him to. And has some notes I use this time, just pure paper. Try memorizing most of it. Thank you.